So this is the magnificent thing we will be building today, which is actually quite simple. And of course, regardless of what side you're on, or if it's open or closed, it always does the thing you want it to do. You may have noticed some gravel sticking out under the gate at the beginning of the video. That's just the glitch with Replay Mod, don't worry about it. So this is tileable, meaning you can make it as long as you want, essentially. But for each one long it's going to be, you're going to need 7 blocks of whatever, 3 gravel or concrete powder or sand or whatever you're using, 7 of what the wall's going to be. I used oak fence, a redstone lamp, 4 redstone dust, a redstone torch, 4 repeaters, 2 pistons, 5 sticky pistons, and 7 observers. And for the mechanism to control everything, to make sure it works from both sides and always opens or closes, whatever it needs to do, you're going to need about a stack of building blocks, an observer, 3 sticky pistons, 2 stone buttons, 47 redstone dust, 9 redstone torches, and 3 repeaters. And of course, this can change depending on how far away you build your stuff. So we're going to start off here by finding the place we want to build our gate. I made this little platform thing. You want to dig out 2 spaces like this. One of them will have the gate. The other is just a cover up for the redstone. You'll want to go down 5 blocks. So you can see I put 3 pistons here and there's still 2 blocks above it. And you'll want to stack these all across. Well, actually, these top ones should be normal pistons. They can be sticky pistons, but it's just kind of a waste of slime. So, you know, whatever. And you'll make it as long as you want. Now you want to have 4 tick delay repeaters pointing into each inside of each bottom piston. So each spot that would be under the ground here. And next, we're going to put observers on top of each one of these. So you'll have to shift click, otherwise you'll reset your ticks on each one. And then on the inside section, you want to put just whatever solid block you have right here. On the other section, you want to put sticky pistons and observers facing in this direction. That's pretty much it for the bottom. Although now we're going to cover this with, let's get some light gray concrete and some, gravel. We'll mix it up a bit. And then I don't know why I really got them. I'm just going to use World Edit to mix it up. There we go. And now we're going to hook up some redstone all along the side and loop it around one edge like this. And then later on, we'll hook it up to this observer. Well, we'll hook it up to the observer now. We'll hook the observer up to a T flip-flop sort of system for the top. Next, you want to go over your sticky pistons like this and go up at most 7 fence or whatever you're going to use. I mean, you can use any sort of wall that might look weird. You can use like iron bars or whatever you want, you know, so whatever. So I'm just gonna fill this in instead of wasting your time. Ta-da. Now on top, you want to go up 8 blocks, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you can break 3 and break 3 like that. Actually, let's just first bring this out all the way here. That was 1 too far. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's right. And then you'll want 2 sticky pistons and 2 normal pistons again. So one side's going to stick out 1 block and the other side's going to stick out 2 blocks. I'm going to have the 1 block side on the more seen side because it's easier to build with. So for the 1 block side, you want to have a row of observers like this, and then another row down here. And then you're going to cover these top ones with 4 tick delay repeaters. All right. And then for the other side, we're going to come out 1 block from this top row of pistons and have our row of observers there. Make sure they're all facing the correct direction. Have a row of blocks underneath them. Then you're going to cover them in redstone dust. You can break this temporary block. Cover all of these in redstone torches. And then down on this bottom row of pistons again, we'll have our other observers. And we'll cover those in 1 tick delay repeaters. There we go. We'll bring this out a little bit because this is on the same side that we're going to hook up down there. So we'll just cover this in some redstone dust for now. And then to finish these, on the side that sticks out 1 block, we're going to fill the centers with redstone lamps. This is a modified version of a design by Methods or Methodz's, I don't know. Regardless, we're going to cover these in blocks on both sides. And you'll see now, if we were to put a button here and press it, we have a triple piston extender. And it does leave the blocks there. I mean, if you want your fence to be 1 higher, you could have this run twice every time and it would pick the blocks back up and then your fence could be 1 higher. But honestly, I think it's better if you build your wall down to here. And then whenever you're on the ground, you're like, well, this isn't a gate. It's blocked off on both sides. And then they open it And you're like, wow. So how the T flip-flop mechanism for this gate works is you press the button and it does the opposite output. So you can see every time I press the button, it does the opposite one. And so what you do is you run a inverter, which is just a redstone torch on a block, into a piston, a sticky piston, which has an observer pointing in this direction. And then you just have that run into 2 sticky pistons. And how you set this up is if I had them both like this, then whenever I press it, they'd both turn on every other time. So you just flip one of them, and then every time you press the button, they switch. So then you'd hook up, say, where this left light is, to the top part of the gate, and the right part to the bottom. Voice cracks are really annoying.
By the way, only 87% of you guys are subscribed. You should fix that.
So let's put some buttons like here. That was 2 from that side. That's probably the same. We'll put our buttons here. Of course, be sure to use stone buttons, because wooden buttons have different timings. Still don't know why some people don't know that, but whatever. Then you're going to pull this out here a bunch and link it up. Cover it in some redstone, like this. And then sometimes you can't always get it even. I'm just going to have it at the same spot as the gate, because why not? You're going to point the redstone in this direction, point it into a block, and then have your inverter there. Have the sticky piston come out of it. Have the observer look like that. Then on these sides, you're going to have your parts that extend out. You're going to have repeaters in front of them, and they'll point into blocks and curve out like this, but then pull one of the blocks farther away because, you know, the pistons. You're going to have your observer point into blocks like this. That was one too many. And you're going to have it go over to your pistons to power them like that. I'll put the pistons down. I fell. All right, those are the same. Cover this in redstone dust. And then as a test, we'll see every time we press this, they should flip. And it is a falling edge, so they flip at the end. All right, so I'm having a weird quasi-connectivity issue with this sticky piston here. You'll see every time I press the button, it just pulls it back. But that's just quasi-connectivity, and it's a locational thing. So if you just power the piston normally by pointing redstone directly at it, then it does work for some reason. So we'll start with this one, which we'll have go down, and of course it doesn't matter, it's all the same thing. It's just whichever one you prefer. Going to point it down like this, that should reach. Bring some redstone dust down, and we'll point this over here. But before you put it in front of the observer, break the piece behind it, and then put a repeater there. Put the dust back. And now you'll see whenever we press our button. So for the vertical one, we're just going to have redstone dust here, which points into a block with a torch. Block, torch. We're just going to make a typical redstone torch tower. It's a little bit of a delay, but I mean, it's fine. Just gonna keep going up like this. We can probably bring it out further. And then you want to make sure the one on top is off. Otherwise, you know, stuff will be powered when it's not supposed to. And just to make sure this reaches everything, I'll put a repeater there. I mean, that'll obviously reach everything, but never hurts. So now, which setting are we on? And it doesn't matter. Press the button, the bottom one will fire. Press it again. The top one will fire. Now real quick, you guys might be interested in this super smelter, which is really cool. So I'll put that on the screen, but also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, but mainly comment, because commenting helps the most by a lot. Well, subscribing's pretty good. You might want to do that too. I am also working on channel memberships, so pretty soon I'll have that nice fresh join button that no one will click on.